So I was scrolling through my emails and I came across a Twitter email and I saw that people were tweeting about the English Schools Athletic Association and the fact that it may not make its 100th anniversary if it doesn't find a sponsor. Now that was heartbreaking to hear, so obviously I went onto Twitter to find out a bit more. There I saw an article by Athletics Weekly talking about the fact that the English Schools Athletic Association is looking for a sponsor. This is really, really sad. To be quite honest with you, it's just another sign of the state of athletics in this country. So can we talk about athletics in the UK for a moment, guys? Of course, at this moment in my life, I'm not exactly a well-known athlete. I'm not exactly a national or international champion or someone that is known very well within the athletics community, but I have a few thoughts about this and I wanted to share them with you guys. And let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about these things and any thoughts that you have. We may not be the most well-known athlete, we may not be the biggest influencers in the sport, but we all have a sphere of influence, and I believe that athletes are the sport. And when you look at the Athletics Association set up by Christian Taylor, we are the sport, that slogan, obviously most of his work is geared toward professional athletes, but athletics starts from the grassroots. Without grassroots athletics, there isn't really going to be any career athletics, any professional athletics, and so athletics as a whole is struggling as a sport. And we the athletes are the sport. We the athletes, if there's no athletes, there's no events. If there's no athletes, there's no time, there's no performances to watch. So we are the sport, we are the assets in the sport. And I think it's about time we take up our position, take up our influence that we do have, and that actually federations, associations, those who are at the top, those organizations that kind of lead athletics for us, begin to see this and start to make use of it. We live in a generation where we're more connected than ever, and big sponsors are always going to be needed, they're always going to be appreciated. But if we don't make use of the new way of doing things, even new opportunities that are available, I believe we're missing out on a really big opportunity. Because it's an individual sport, any new person on any given day could be the next, insert your favorite Olympic champion, world champion here. And so we need to start identifying that, yes, you may only have under 1,000 followers, you may have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. That's still a lot of people. Put 3,000 people in a stadium, put even 100 people in a auditorium, that's a lot of people. And we all know people that, let's say, UK athletics are not reaching, that British athletics are not reaching, that England athletics are not reaching, that the English School Athletics Association are not reaching. And so we have a sphere of influence that they don't have, and I think it's about time that we recognise that and that also they recognise that. So here's some of my thoughts. Let's start off with talking about the English School Athletics Association. English schools has a big part in my heart. I am a former English schools champion. I won English schools as a first year under 15, and literally that's like my first year in athletics. I didn't really know about it until I got there, but it's amazing for me to hear other athletes also stating it as being like a mini Olympic, and for me that's literally what it was. I remember going back to school after the English school, being so excited to share my medals, to share the whole experience with my class. I remember to share it with my form group and just explaining it as being like the Olympics. And for a young athlete, that's literally what it is. It's a springboard. Not everyone's going to go on to become a junior international, a under 23 international, a senior international. However, that is a great springboard. And for me, moving through the rank, I did become an international junior, represent the country as under 23, and haven't yet quite managed to attain that as a senior. But that was a valuable experience, moving me through the ranks and preparing me for life as an athlete. That kind of experience, staying away with team, being in a team, making new friends. That's why I met a lot of people in athletics. It's such a great experience, and to not have that at grassroots level would just literally leave a massive gaping hole in athletics. I can't even believe that we're talking about this, to be honest with you. So grassroots athletics in this country, we need English schools. For me personally, that's just a little bit of my own story and why it's important to me, and so many other athletes have shared their experiences, shared why English schools are so beneficial to them. I think it's safe to say that pretty much all of us who have either been to English schools, or even if we're family or friends or people that have been to English schools, understand the value of English schools. If you're a teacher, I'm sure you understand the value of English schools. And so why can't we do something about that? We may not be able to be that big brand, that big sponsor that they're looking for, but a lot of people, because I had the same thought, have talked about crowdfunding. And if there's so many of us that are so passionate about this, why can't we have the opportunity to actually give back, to invest in the grassroots of our sport, one of the major championships when it comes to grassroots sports in this country? The fact that there's not been a structure set up until now is quite shocking, to be honest with you, because the English Schools Athletics Association is actually a registered charity. And so even on that point, even if you're a small business, for example, donating to a charity, you can actually write it off as an expense. So I had a little look on the Charity Commission website from 2016 to 2020, the ESAA had an average gross income of around £550,000 per year. And they spent roughly, on average, over those 5 years, £531,000 of that money to do what it is that they need to do, right? I went onto the England Athletics website now, and as of the 20th of January, it says that there are 162,770 registered club athletes and runners. Even if it was 110,000 of us that thought that English schools is worth saving, even if we all gave £5 a year, £5 a year, guys, is literally nothing. That's like a Starbucks coffee. That's like, don't buy McDonald's, which you shouldn't be eating anyway. That's like chicken and chips. That's like maybe one bus pass for the day, walk that day. And imagine if we all did that. That's already literally all the money that they needed for a whole year. Could we say, yeah, I'm committed for the next 5 years, I'm going to give £5 a year? We could do that if we wanted to, if we had the opportunity to. So that was just some of my thoughts. Just let's just say from that registered club athlete, 162,000 that I mentioned, if we all gave £2 a year, that's already £325,540. And yes, they would still need more. Then yeah, the big sponsor could come along, but then it's not just such a big thing on that big sponsor. I guess on average they're looking for like a sponsor that can give around 100,000. I know that England Athletics has given over all of these just to support it, and even that, according to the article that I read, was kind of shaky at the moment as well. But imagine if we, the people, the athletes who make up the sport, the family, the parents, imagine if we were actually given the opportunity to give, and it was made easy for us, because at the moment you go onto the ESAA website, there isn't any option for you to give. When you go onto their social profiles, the website is not even there automatically. There's no links. Simple things like utilizing Linktree or something like that, where you can have multiple links from one link in your social profile. These are really small things that if they're started to be implemented, then it gives more people an opportunity to dig a little bit further. Like, you have to be so involved in athletics to understand athletics and to know where to look or anything like that, whereas it should be easily accessible. Make things easy for athletes to share on social media. So make ready-made templates that talk about upcoming events so it's easily shareable. Make a folder that athletes can easily email it out to athletes that they can actually share on their own pages. It's not only directly on your own England Athletics or the UK Athletics email list that many people are not on. Make it easy for athletes to share these things on their own stories, on their own Instagram pages. Make these things easy by creating shareable content that people want to share, that people that are maybe not in the sport that potentially could enjoy it, but they don't know they could enjoy it because they have no idea how it works. So in England we have 162,000 plus athletes who potentially most of them are on social media. Even if it's not, it could be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And let's say now, let's just do a random number of 30,000 of those athletes. 30,000 of the registered athletes are going to go to English school. Let's just say that as an imaginary number, because I don't know what the real statistic is. Now let's say pretty much all of those young athletes, let's say okay, 15,000 of them are on social media. Let's say they're on Instagram, okay? Now, if you created little squares, little templates where they could insert their own picture and say, I've just qualified for English schools. It shouldn't only be if you qualified for the World Championships that you can now make these nice templates that have your association logo on it. Make it easy for athletes at even the grassroots level to show their achievements too. Create little templates where people can put their own picture in it, they can put their own name there, and they can celebrate. I qualified for English schools, I came at this place at English schools, this is where you can watch me at English schools, this is where it's sharing online. But basically making use of the very basic things that, because we live in a world that is more connected than ever, people on social media, it's easy to share, and making use of micro influencers. So we may not all be the champions that we have in this country, but there's many athletes who are developing, and many athletes that could literally, they just need a year, two, even a season, that they could break through this season. But because there's been no tracking of their story, governing bodies don't recognize those athletes as much as they should, and so it then suddenly becomes a shock story when it shouldn't be. And then for the athletes, make use of what you have. You have your own platform, create your own story, share your own story, vlog. Yes, you may not have thousands, hundreds of thousands, but there's always going to be someone who is behind you in terms of, you know, a little bit more than you could share with them. Share with them what you know. That's what I'm trying to do here on Fit with Chi. It's like, share what I know. Yes, like I said, I may not be a world champion, a European champion that, you know, has been to X, Y, and Z, has this many medals, but guess what? I do have experience. Guess what? There's a lot of people behind me that haven't achieved what I've achieved or had the experience I've had, and so there's things that I can share that they don't know. Yes, there's people that are ahead of me, that are above me, whatever, but we all have something that we can give. And I think if we start to recognize that athletes, we can actually save our sport. Yes, we keep talking, you know, there's so many people that are creating podcasts, that are doing things, saying things need to change. People more at the top keep saying things need to change, and the change is like, it's very slow. A lot of people are not making change, so it's like, let's just take it into our own hands, athletes. That's what I want to say in this video. It's like, we can save our sport because we are the sport. If we talk, if we start sharing, it creates opportunities. Look how many people can go viral now or get the attention of a newspaper because you do something different and it brings attention to the sport, right? We are the sport. We are all influencers, micro influencers, whatever you want to say. Utilize your platform, share your story, share the story of others, share your knowledge, share your experience, and give. If you can give. And if you are, you know, a governing body, an association, an organization that work in athletics that helps put on a competition, make it easy for us to support you, make it easy for us to share your content, make it easy for us to feel like we're involved in what you're doing. It's not just you versus us, it's not athletes versus organizations, but no, we are all the sport, we work together. So create things where it's like, not only if you're at the very, very top that you seem important, but even if you're a grassroots athlete that you're important. Make it so that we have profiles on your pages, make little badges that we can put onto our website, onto our social profiles in the corners that says, yeah, I'm a registered athlete, and it makes it like an actual thing. It's like, oh, what does it mean to be a registered athlete? How did you register? Anyway, guys, these are some of my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Kind of went on a little bit of a tangent. I had more notes, I wanted to be more concise, but in the end, I've just kind of shared from my heart a bit. Hopefully something has resonated with you guys, and if it has, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think needs to change? How can we be the sport? How can we help our sport? And if particularly you do want to give to English Schools Athletic Association, and they have created a crowdfunding page by this point of me releasing this video, I will leave the link in the description box below so that you can give if you want to give. Yeah, let me know what you think, guys. If you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up to help me accelerate my channel, and so that more people can see this video, get it out to more athletes, so that we can all do our part, be influencers, and bring more people, more attention, more new athletes, sponsors, etc into our sport. Yeah, and if you're just completely new to athletics and you just found this video because someone shared it with you and you want to know how do I actually become an athlete, then make sure to check out this video, and I'll see you guys next Friday.